Peah, Perek Hey, Mishnah Vav. We're continuing in the halachot that deal with the Mishnah, deal with the fact that a person is not permitted to take the ma'asrot, the matnot aniyim, Leket, Shikha, and Peah from his own field. Says the Mishnah, Hamocher tzadeh, if I sell my field, Hamocher mutar v'alokeach asur. If I sell it to someone who is an ani, the person who sells the field is mutar, is permitted now to take matnot aniyim from the field because it's no longer his field. V'halokeach asur, and the person who bought the field, he is prohibited from taking the matnot aniyim. How can a person buy a field and still be poor? What if he borrowed all the money for the field? What if he owes a lot of money? And there are many possibilities. Nonetheless, the person who owns the field is prohibited, and the person who sold the field no longer owns it is mutar. The Bartanura, he explains, he adds on, he says, the Rishalmi says that if macharet hakama bilvad, if I only sold the produce that's attached to the field, and you could do that. You say, I'm only going to sell you the produce, even while it's attached. If a shira sadeh latzmo, and he kept a sadeh for himself, shneim asurim b'leket shikha. They both can't say it because both of them it's for sadcha. Okay. Says the Mishnah, Lo yiskor adam et hapoalim al manat shilaket b'no acharav. So I'm hiring workers. So I say to the workers, listen, I will hire you, and I'm going to give you a special deal that your son can collect the Leket, Shikha, and Peah. Okay, and the reason the Mishnah says you can't do this, the Bartanura explains, Al manat shilaket b'no acharav, shal yedei ken hapoel menakelo min haschirut. So what am I going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to say to the guy, listen, you know, the Leket is really worth, $2 an hour. So instead of my paying you $10 an hour, I'll pay you $8 an hour, and then you get the Leket. Or if we both want to benefit, I'll pay you $9 an hour, the Leket, and I save $1 an hour, and you get the $2 an hour, everybody's happy. That's exactly what I'm going to do. It's because I'm menakeh. I'm going to deduce lo min haschirut from the pay. V'nimtza porei chavo mishel aniyim. What am I doing? I'm benefiting from the Leket because I'm saving money on the hiring of my workers. That's exactly what the Mishnah says. Okay? Lo yiskor et adam el hapoalim amanat shilaket b'no acharav. That's cheating. That's trying to benefit from the Leket. If I don't permit the aniyim to collect. Or I say, I specify, I say, Yankel, he can do it, and Shmankel, who can't? I choose. Or I give preferential treatment. I benefit any one of them. You are stealing from the aniyim. Al zen ne'emar, al taseg gvul olim. Al taseg gvul. Hasagat gvul is overstepping boundaries. Olim. So olim are people that go up. So the Mishnah says, this means al taseg gvul olim. It's gezel aniyim. So first of all, it's fascinating. I've spoken about this in the past, that the idea is, it's not yours to give. You don't have the right to designate any particular ani. You can't give preferential treatment. You can't help anyone. It's the role of the aniyim to enter into your field. And if you don't do any of that, it's called gozel et aniyim. You're stealing from them in your field. I.e., they have a right. They have part ownership in the field itself, which is very different than what we think of classically as tzedakah. You're not giving it to them. They have rights in it. They have rights that you have the right to take from. What is the meaning of this al taseh gvul olim? So it turns out there's two perushim. It actually turns out the phrase al taseh gvul olim appears twice in Mishnah. One is Perek Bet, Pasuk Kavchet. Al taseh gvul olim. It really says olam, but the Gemara says, read it olim. Okay? Asher asu avotecha. And the other one is, do not cross the boundaries of the olim, of those who go up, asher avotecha, that your forefathers did. The second one is al taseh gvul olam, olim olam. Don't read it olam el olim. Ubisdei yitomim al tabo, and don't enter into the fields of yitomim. So, the two explanations in the Yerushalmi are, what are olim? Olim are olei Mitzrayim, meaning the Bnei Yisrael that left out of Mitzrayim. And what it means is, al tishaneh azharot Torah. Don't be masig gvulim, what the Torah says. The Torah says, don't touch their produce. Okay, and you're trying to cheat. So, al taseh gvul olim asher asur avotecha, so the Tiferet Yisrael explains that the people who say olim means olei Mitzrayim, they're saying that the Mishnah is quoting al taseh gvul olim from this pasuk. From the first one, asher asur avotecha. Others say, al taseh gvul olim, ubisdei yitomim al tavo. So that's actually much more relevant to our pasuk. Don't enter into the fields of yitomim, of orphans. I.e., don't steal from orphans, don't steal from the poor. What are olim? So they say olim. Sometimes the Gemara will say what's called lashon saginohor. Instead of saying, it says when it's talking about the destruction, God forbid, of the Jewish people, it will sonei Yisrael, those who hate the Jewish people, because we never want to say, God forbid, it should be the Jewish people themselves. So olim here means yordim, those who have fallen. So what it really means is al taseh gvul olim, don't be masi gvul on the poor, ubizdei yitomim al tavo, and don't enter into the fields of the yitomim. So the Tiferet Yisrael explains that the first explanation is reading the pasuk that the Mishnah is quoting from Mishnah Chaf Bet Chaf Chet, Asher Asu Avotecha. And the second explanation that says olim is yordim explains it from ubizdei yitomim al tavo. And you can see why you would say each one. In the first one, Gvul Olim really means Olim here, Olim Mitzrayim. And the second one, in order to explain the whole pasuk, you have to totally reread the word Olim to mean the opposite of what it says, to mean Yordim. So, in any case, what emerges from here is that a person who even helps one ani instead of another ani, is Gozel et aniyim. Leave it to them. It's not yours to give, it's theirs to take. They have a right to it too. And it says so much about what the Matnot Aniyim are about. It's not charity, it's much, 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 much more. If you have any comments or questions, as always, feel free to contact me. Let me see if I can find it. Here we are. rspolter@gmail.com. And I would like to dedicate this Mishnah in memory of my father, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.